What is going on, YouTube? Happy 4th of July out there to everybody. I'm sitting here, fat as a pig, been eating good today. Me and Roseanne's been eating good. Just got done eating lunch a little while ago, and I thought I would do a follow-up video because it's a holiday weekend. I'm not really doing any work, so I'm sitting here and I'm messing with my recent stuff that come in the mail recently and processing it to add like what I was adding to my collection, what I was throwing to the side to look to sell or whatever, get rid of. And I thought I would do a video today just for the heck of it, and show a couple things about how I process things in my collection. There is a reason I do things the way I do. And I realize I said some things, sometimes in my videos I'll say things that to me, it's just how my thinking is. And I realize not everybody thinks this way. But this is an example of how I do things. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, you saw I got this in the mail recently in the last few days this week. This is a 2013 pink refractor of Will Myers. It is numbered to 50, and that's why I picked it up. Now, this was a card that I complained about Scotch tape. Now, that one was just regular Scotch tape, but it did not want to come off, and it left a sticky residue. And what I do with top loads, penny sleeves like that are dirty, I just throw them in a box. When I get the box full, like a flat rate medium box, go in a Facebook group. Anybody want these? Take a picture, whatever, use card supplies, ship them off to whoever. Basically, they pay if they pay willing to pay the cost of the shipping in a medium flat rate box plus $5. I just let them go because I just to get them out of my way and get something for them. But because some people, will use them. For me, though, I mean, I know I talked about like the tape, and I realize that some people say, well, this is what I use, and people say, well, I don't want to pay for painter's tape. Well, masking tape is just the same. It doesn't look as pretty to me, so I use the painter's tape, and I buy these usually in packs of two. Roll. This is a brand new roll, actually. Just opened up a while ago out of a 2-pack. Um, and I buy these in 2-packs. Sometimes I buy them in packs of like 5 in a roll at the hardware store. 5 rolls like this stacked up. And the reason I like it is because you can put, and I'll show you, this is how I do it. Just real quick, I'll give you an example of how I do this. Is I take and just peel, like when I'm selling cards, if I'm selling one card, if I'm shipping you one card, I will take and I will just snip like this. I'll roll that out just like that. You can hold it just like that. Let me set it down so it don't bang. And that's actually a little bit more than I even need right there. But that's all I use. And then I'll take a card like this and I'll put it. This is one actually that I'm going to show you in a minute because I realized I forgot to even show this one in the video. It was in a lot of cards I bought yesterday, but I'll put it like this and I'll just fold it right over. Your card's not coming out. And if you decide later you want to take the card out and or whatever, you can get that painter's tape off very easy. Very, very easy. It's just it comes off just as easy. Like if you got a redemption from Topps and you send in the redemption and they send you back the card, it's going to be with a label and everything, Topps label and everything. Well, like painter's tape is like that. It comes off real easy. But anyway, that's what I do. And then if this is a card that's going to stay in my collection. All right, mainly because it's numbered to 50, and I'm a collector that, besides an autograph collector, and and specific little things like I'm a Cleveland fan, sports fan. I live in Northeast Ohio. I collect Cleveland sports memorabilia. I'm an autograph collector, and I like vintage, cards. But anything that's rare, oddball, or short print, this was a pink refractor number to 50. If I can get it cheap, I will take it. And this was cheap. I gave $1 for it, And even though it's not in great shape, it's got some dings and everything. I would not send, if this was in really good shape, I would be considering sending it in, to get graded. But because of the fact that it's in poor shape, to me, it's in poor shape. And I'm a strict judge of cards. But a card has to be in really pristine shape or very, very, very rare for me to even consider sending it to SGC or anything. And I'm a guy, big fan of SGC cards. But anyway, I got a niece and nephew that my nephew, before he got a little bit older and got into girls, loved baseball cards. My niece has always loved sports, played sports growing up, but they'll probably get my collection one day when I'm dead and gone. My sister may, but they'll probably end up with it. And because of that, I want them to not have to go through it, whether they decide to piece it out and sell it to get as much as they can, selling it individually, which is what I would actually hope they would do, or if they decide to take it to a dealer and just unload it, or go to an. I actually advise my sister to that. I've said this before, go take it to an auction house, contact auction house, and just have it auctioned off. But like, or the auction house may even explain to them the best way. Find somebody that would work with you on getting as much possibly for it. Right now, to me, because this card and it's typical with a pink refractor. It's got ding corners, but it's two ding corners. It's got some edge. You see the white right at it's not showing. There's that ding corner right there. There's white edge wear right here. I don't know if there you see it really good. So this is not close to a mint condition. It's got edge wear at the top. You see those dings. So this to me is not worth sending into grade, even though it's on numbered to 50, meaning only 50 of these exist that were ever made, if there's still that many out there. But to me, it's just not worth sending into grade. But 30 years from now, when my niece and nephew are my age, and there's rich collectors out there that are looking to put together a complete set of pink refractors from 2013, may be worth sending into grade then. But that's just like 30 years ago when I was, their age now. Um, a card of, Andre Dawson rookie card was not really which they wasn't graded back then. But what I'm saying is, like, big time collectors back in those days were looking for Mantles and Mazes and Aaron's, which they still are today. But what I mean is, nobody was thinking much about an Andre Dawson rookie card you could get for a couple, $5 to $10 somewhere in there, depending on condition. I can remember when Dale Murphy's autograph though was worth $50. Selling for $50, and I mean his rookie card, not his autograph, rookie card. And now, which one of those cards do you think's worth more? The Andre Dawson is, because he's in the Hall of Fame. But that's times change. But anyway, I want my niece and nephew or my sister to be able to find out what they have as quickly as possible so they can get an idea, if I was dead and gone, what their value of what they have is. And so I put right on here, I use a lot of index cards because they're really cheap. And I put this card in a team bag, brand new team bag. Now, team bags, I honestly buy card supplies by the cases. That's why, to me, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. When I say things in videos, sometimes I realize some of my viewers are like, "Well, that costs money," but I've got a ton of card supplies in the back room back here, because when I buy team bags, when I buy penny sleeves, when I buy top loads, when I buy graded card bags, I'm buying them by the case, not by the pack. Like even PSA bags, I'm buying them by the case. PSA bags, the ones that's got the little PSA down at the bottom. If it's not a PSA and it's graded by something else, like this BGS here, I just put it in a regular plain team bag, which are actually cheaper. But anyway, like I put on the back here, it's serial number 32 out of 50. I even put in a little circle, it's on the back, the serial number, because some cards are serial numbered on the front. But I do that because I want them to be able to find out. I even put what I paid for it in 2025, and I put at the bottom, it's low grade with edge wear. In my opinion, at best, I'd be lucky if you send this in to get a 2 or 3 grade because of the edge wear. But that's me, and I'm very hard on cards. And that's why I wouldn't even consider it unless if this was it would have to be a really, really high dollar card for me to consider it. And right now, it's not there. So, but 30 years from now, 2050, whatever, um, pink refractors from that time, numbered to only 50 in existence, may be well worth for them to send in and get graded to resell, make more money. Right here, also, I want to point this out in yesterday's video. When I seen, there's so many, I don't open a lot of box stuff. I don't break boxes. And this was in that lot that I'd bought for $25. I found it didn't take me long this morning or today to find out really quickly, this is a very nice card. It's not serial numbered, and it is Christopher Morel, not a superstar, just a good player. It is a rookie card, but this is actually a case hit. Now, I'm somebody that I'm not a box breaker. I don't buy cases and bust packs. If you watch, there's a guy on YouTube that I love watching. His name is Chris Sewell, who calls himself a baseball card collector, investor, dealer, in that order, I believe is how he says it. He's a really very, very knowledgeable with the hobby because that's what he does for a living is buy and sell collections. Um, and Chris Sewell talks. His advice would be not to invest all your money in busting packs, busting boxes, all that. And I realize it's very addictive. It's a type of gambling, to be honest about it, because I understand you're looking for that rare case hit, but you're hoping that case hit is not a Christopher Morel. You're hoping it's an Aaron Judge, or you're hoping it's somebody a Tawny. You're looking for somebody that you can really get big money for. But you know what? More times than not, you're busting a bunch of stuff, and then you don't even get enough. What you get of your inserts isn't even enough to get you half your money back. I'm a collector I would rather invest in vintage or rare stuff at a cheap price. Instead of let somebody else bust the packs and me buy what I want when they sell it. In a lot like that, preferably. Also, I know if you watch my videos, you subscribe to my channel. Yeah, I'm a Cleveland fan. I know you might see that right there. That's not Arizona Cardinals. Okay, this is actually it's Mooney Cardinal Football, which is a local high school, Christian high school here in Youngstown, Ohio. So, but they do have the same logo. But anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. But this was a case hit, Christopher Morel, and these actually, if you go up here at Walmart, you buy some, you know, hanger packs, you're going to get all kind of inserts up tops, so some not a pack breaker. I'm just thinking this is just a standard insert, threw in. It's not serial numbered, probably not worth much, common player. And then all of a sudden, I do a little research today, and I found out just recently a PSA 9 of the same card sold for $37 on eBay. Now this one has got some edge wear at the top, so I don't think it would be. I think it might have a chance of being a PSA 6 in the shape it's in. And I know you say, well, how? Well, I mean, before I put it back in the top loader and everything, looking at it, I mean, it's got some edge wear, dings. I can see that. It doesn't show as bad as that pink refractor, but that's where people get fooled sending cards in that are not used to grading. It's easy to tell that card's got some corner and edge wear because it shows up on the pink. Doesn't show up so easy on that silver. You have to actually get it out, and you got to get out and look at it. I mean, I use a magnifying glass looking at some of these things. You look for the scratch marks too on the surface. These things can get little tiny scratches, stuff. That kind of stuff. And even on the back, you have to watch. Sometimes the front of a card can look awesome, and one thing on the back can knock the grade down. And I would not send that in. But at the same time, this was a super short print. Super short print means that this insert set is limited to one insert per hobby case, not hobby box, hobby case. That means it's very rare, very sought after, and that's why PSA 9 sold for $37. They're not serial numbered, but they are very hard to get. So that right there will stay in the collection. And I did think it was actually a cool card. How cool does that get? If I was a Cubs fan, this would be a must-have because look at the little Cub bear and Wrigley Field in the background. That's an awesome card. It really is. Nostalgia-wise, if you're a true baseball fan, a true baseball card collector, that's an awesome card. And if you're a Cubs fan, you know it's awesome. But anyway, I'm sitting here and that's what I do. Like that way, these will go into boxes and, down the road, if I ever do, who knows, I may end up, I may get sick one day, need money, doctor bills, whatever. I may start selling stuff off in my collection somewhat. But, if I'm dead and gone, die unexpected, whatever, my niece and nephew gets these, my sister gets these. They know what they got, and then helps them to look up and get a better idea of what things are worth, and as they get, and that's a job. That's a job to go back after years and years and years and years and years of collecting to go back and do this with your collection. But I'm doing it out of love for my family because a lot of this stuff I know I'll never sell. A lot of things I'll never sell. Also, while I'm doing this video, I'll show you like this. I told you I picked up because I could not find an 88 Topps Donnie Moore. This one I did get. I had it on my watch list on eBay because I was considering buying a Donnie Moore authenticated autograph, even if it wasn't the 88 Topps. And then this is what I did. I put it in a protected bag. There's on the back. I put that in a top load, slid it down in the back. Donnie Moore's 88 Topps card, and there's his autograph. No, it's not the card I wanted autographed, but for a fellow that killed himself in 1989, that's very hard to find his autograph on any card. And getting the deal, the seller made me a best offer of it was 50 something percent off of what he was asking. And I said, I'm never going to find this one autograph. And it's funny, I bought this at $25 plus shipping. And when it came in, or well, it came in the other day, but right after I bought it, like 2 days later, I get on Facebook, I'm going through my newsfeed. There's a post from a group. Somebody had posted in an autograph group I'm in, somebody posted an 88 Topps Donnie Moore autograph for sale. They were asking $50. Now, it wasn't authenticated, and I would never give $50 for one that was unauthenticated unless I was positive, because I've not seen enough of Donnie Moore's autographs to even be able to tell. So this one being already authenticated and getting for $25, that can go into my Topps 1988 Topps project, and I'm happy with that. And to give you another example of that, like this George Brett here is 88 Topps George Brett. Um, this right here is a signed cut authenticated by PSA. And I did the same thing with that. That's fine with me. Sure, I'd rather have the George Brett card autographed itself, but it's still George Brett's autograph, and it works for what I'm doing with that project. That project is going to be worth a lot of money one day, and when I get that set finished, and I'm nearing it, and my family will be able to hopefully profit from that down the road. As far as other things that I had in that yesterday's video, I'll go ahead and show you because while I was processing this stuff, I was able to clean off the tape residue. And seriously, though, if you can't afford this, masking tape works just as good. Masking tape is cheap as dirt, and masking tape might not look as pretty as that blue, but you can put a little bit of masking tape over the top of a top load like that right there, and it's not going to leave all that sticky gooey residue. The worst thing about with Scotch tape that I hate, especially when I have sellers on eBay in the past that will put like the thick packaging tape that wide across the whole top of a top load. You're trying to peel that off. Not only is it the top load trash because it's got all that sticky residue, but I have bent cards before because trying to peel that off and trying to fighting to get the gooey sticky stuff off, that you end up bending the top load like that and bending your card. And that might not be a big deal if it's a dollar card, but if it's on up there, it can suck. But anyway, I was able to get that residue off, and never, never, never put Scotch tape directly on a case of a PSA 10 number to 25 card. I don't care who it is. If it's not in a team bag, if it's not in a baggie, like this is in a PSA bag, you can always replace the bag. But do not put Scotch tape directly on a PSA case of any kind like that guy did. I was able to get it clean, but that sucks. That just sucks. Nobody should do that. Anyway, I went through, I'm getting ready to go, and I'd contacted the guy back to ask him again. I sent him a picture I took with my phone to verify. Actually, one thing that makes me sad, I was so excited about these because these, yesterday's video that come in that autograph lot, they're from my childhood as far as the stickers go, from old early 80s Fleer sets, like this was like 82. It says 81 Texas Rangers. It's got their one loss record, but that would have meant it was in the 82 Fleer, from the 82 Fleer set. They put one sticker in every pack of Fleer cards. This is from the inaugural 1981 Fleer baseball set. Now, they did make a set back in like 63, but they didn't make any baseball cards for years. And then this one is from 1983 Topps. And that was a big set, 83 year. To me as a kid, that had Don Mattingly and Darryl Strawberry rookie cards in that set. It's a big deal to me. But the players that signed these, I was thinking it was going to be players from back when I was a kid that played for Texas. Actually, one of them, Kelly something, and I can't remember his name. The guy told me, but I'll go back and look at the message and find it out. And the other one is, I think, Tim Crabtree on that one, and Tim Crabtree on this one. But what I'm going to do is just like I do with TTMs, just autograph acquired. Well, no, that's for a TTM, but like I'll put on a card who signed it, when I acquired it, and I'll put it in behind the autograph on the other side, and that way it'll be like down the road. And even if I sell these, that way the person I sell them to knows who the autograph is. I mean, that's just to me courtesy. Also, in yesterday's video, this card had Scotch tape on it, and I never took it off. I couldn't get it off at first very easily, so I ended up throwing the card to the side. I never showed the card. But this is the last card in that lot that I had got for $25 yesterday. It's very nice. And I remember when this guy looked like he was going to be something special. Miguel, Sano? Miguel Sano. I don't even know how to pronounce that right. But anyway, this was a dual patch autograph. That is a beautiful patch. You see that? And it's numbered to 25. Very nice. And sadly, this guy had tremendous power, but he just never panned out. When he first come up with Minnesota, though, he looked like he was going to be something else. And this is immaculate collection. This is a very high-end Panini product. Very high-end. I'm not for sure what year. What is that, 2015? It's so tiny. 2018. 2018, but still, even though he didn't pan out, that is a gorgeous card for an autograph collector like me, with that blue Sharpie autograph and then that beautiful patch. Most patch cards today are just, I mean, so much cheap. Donruss puts out all these products with these patches that are just like a white. Everything is a white or a gray patch, white or gray. I hate that. That's a patch. That is a patch. Now I realize when you are cutting up a jersey, if you really are, you're not going to have everything's not going to have a number, but that's a piece of a number or a piece of a letter of a name, and that is awesome. That is awesome. I really like that card, and it's just. And then another thing, like this one right here, I need to put in a. I'm running. I couldn't find. I think I have like maybe only 4 or 5 empty, brand new, thick top loads this size. So right now I just put the Bob Feller in a team baggie, but I'm gonna have to buy some more of those. But anyway, the Bob Feller that I got yesterday, that I mainly got for the Indians PC for right now, I just put in a team baggie. But anyway, that's just some of the things that I do with my, for my collection, as far as how I process things and how, like, if I'm selling cards, if I sold you, honestly, if I sold you the Bob Feller card, I'm probably going to take, if I ain't got one handy, I'll take a card like this out, like the card in this out of one. I'll put it in, I would actually ship it to you in the top load. And I'd put a piece of painter's tape on it just like that. If I'm selling you a graded card and it's not, it's not PSA, it's going to come in a clear bag just like that. If I'm selling you a PSA card, it's going to come in a PSA bag, but that's me, and I know that stuff costs money. And if you're on a low budget, you're in the hobby because you love baseball, or football or basketball, but you don't have a lot of money to put into it, buy these clear bags. The PSA holders fit in the clear bags just as good. I just like that little bit of a PSA look on the PSA graded slab. But there's nothing wrong with the clear plain. They're cheaper. You get the same amount of them in a pack, but they're a little bit cheaper. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with buying penny sleeves, but like a pack at a time, or top loads, pack of 25 at a time. But I'll tell you what, the more you buy, the better deal you get. And really and truly, if you look, there's a dude, Columbia Sports Cards is what he's called on eBay, but I've dealt with him for years. He's one I've dealt with for years. And years ago, I used to get all my team bags through him. And you look at the price scale. If you order one bag of 100 team bags, you're paying like right now. A lot of sellers on eBay is asking $6 to $7 for that one bag of 100. So that's 6 to 7 cent a team bag. Then you look at if you buy 4, you can get all of a sudden, or you buy 3 packs. A lot of times they'll have a deal. If you buy 3 packs of 100, you get them for 10. So all of a sudden, that's 300 for 10. And you start looking at, well, instead of having 6 or 7 cents in each team bag, now I've got 3.5 cents or 3 1/3 cent in each team bag. And even if you can't, you might say, well, I can't afford to throw the $10 in right now because whatever. Well, or that's kind of hard every time I turn around. Well, think about this though. You're not going to need to buy them. You're not going to run out as quick if you buy more. But if you buy them by the case, you get them dirt cheap. Top loads the same way. If you, it's hard. I know for somebody to say I'm just going to throw $100 and some down on a case of top loads. Or for me, the last case I bought, I actually bought them from Columbia Sports memorabilia, and I think he had a buy it now special one weekend he did, and I got a case of top loads unopened, $70 some, and that'll last me a long time, and I have seen some people asking over 100 for a case of top loads though on eBay. eBay's a rough place to buy car supplies. Sometimes I suggest honestly buying straight from some of these companies off their official websites instead of eBay or Amazon. Amazon, you get ripped off. On Amazon, there's a lot of these dealers out there that will do this crap where they'll advertise that they're selling you like they do this crap with top loads. They do it with the non-pocket notebook pages. They'll tell you they're selling you a top grade product, and then when you buy it, what you get is, and I've seen it so many times. They'll advertise like BCW or whatever top loads, a name brand, and then when you get them, they're in a BCW box, but they've been wrapped in wrap that if you've been around long enough, you'll know they're not officially BCW. Or I honestly prefer Ultra Pro when it comes to non-pocket pages, but Ultra Pro has a low end and a high end product. And one thing I hate about Amazon, you'll have dealers on Amazon, they'll be advertising that Ultra Pro, and they'll be showing you pictures of the top of the line Ultra Pro non-pocket pages. And if you buy a case, you know what they ship you is a bunch of boxes that, yeah, the box looks like that, but when you open them up and you look, you're getting the lowest of the low grade notebook pages. So what that dealer is doing is he's making more money by swapping out. He's taking and he's using, taking out the good out of that box and putting the crap and the crappier ones into that same box to make it look like it's good ones, the best top of the line, sealing it, taping it back up, and re-cellophaning it, rewrapping it with cellophane. That does not, when you get it, it doesn't look the same. I ordered a bunch of it was a bunch of top loads several years ago off of eBay. I mean off of Amazon, because it was a good buy, I thought, until I got them, and then I found out no, this right here it was junk. They were the worst top loads I'd ever seen, and you could tell it was wrapped like if the box was, it did say BCW at the time, but it was not BC or something, but it was not whatever I bought. It was not what it was in the case. And these were wrapped like they had been tore open and rewrapped with, like if somebody took saran wrap and wrapped it. And that's what happens when you buy stuff from these third party sellers. You have to watch online. But anyway, not much in this video, just me sharing some stupid little stuff about, how I like to process things in my collection. And I did want to share that, but thank you all for watching. I hope everybody out there is having a happy 4th of July. And I'll be back again soon with more videos.